What is going on, guys? It is Wednesday, May 31st. This is the last free chart analysis that I'm doing. For those of you that are watching this on YouTube, catching the replay, if you look in the description below, you'll see a link that guides you to the AlignedFx Discord that we have. And that's pretty much me going to be going over just free content. I'm going to be dropping the analysis and I'm going to be doing it once a week. I don't really have a set day yet. I kind of want to do it when there is stuff aligned and things actually make sense on the dashboard. And the same thing for a peak. I'm going to give out like one or two peaks in the week and just kind of say, hey, this is a solid peak, and then let you guys kind of do your own thing from that. But if you are wanting more of a hands-on experience, you want to still be part of the chart analysis, or you want to go farther, because I will be doing trainings that go farther into how I look at the charts, some cool things that I don't really discuss with you guys, but have definitely helped me throughout the years of being able to do these analysis. So let's get this thing rolling. It's been a fun ride. It's been a month, but we're only going to get better, and this dashboard's only going to get cooler. So appreciate everybody that's been following, and I look forward to providing more value wherever I can. So let's get started. We have last night was really cool. I had the 8 pairs that we were looking at. Not all of them I didn't enter. I only entered in on technically 3 of them, but one of them actually wasn't one on the analysis that I did last night. It was UJ. So I'll go over that real quick. Kind of just want to explain why I took it. I posted a picture of it earlier in the group. And then from there, we can get started on what are the peaks for the day. So I took UJ. Oh, come on, go away. I can't see the chart. Okay, UJ. So I noticed that yesterday there was a peak from the previous day, and things didn't really, everything kind of met the terms for what I usually look for and for the continuation sell. And it broke this structure, right? It broke it right here. No, it did not. It did not. So I was just saying it didn't. And I was actually looking just through the pairs overall, and I noticed the peak, and I noticed that how far it was rising. And I kind of caught it ahead of time. I think I might be wrong, or it actually might show new peak for me. Yeah, look, I said it. I told myself this because I was looking. I was like, they're going to call this a new peak formation, but now is a 2-day peak formation high. So I caught the initial drop of that before it actually became. I caught the cells around here, but ultimately, um, this is where I was looking at. I was looking at the yeah, kind of showing a little bit of divergence. Wasn't crazy though. I saw the drop from the day before, took out the low, it wicked up to the high, so it's like double top, break a structure, and I was just seeing how this was kind of all playing out here. And when I saw this going into after the analysis last night, I was like, this is going to be a sell. And it dropped here initially, and I didn't enter because I was like, it's just too soon. Like I feel like it still needs to pull up a bit, so I avoided it. And then I woke up this morning for New York session, and it was right around here. I got in for a sell here, and then some news event happened. It was USD news, I think, at 10 o'clock, and it wasn't like really fast paced news, but it definitely just made the market move over that hour up, and I got in on another sell on that push, and I was like, no, this is going to keep going down, and I put my take profit at the recent low, and it was a good payout. So now that we have a confirmed peak formation with this, I mean, now it's just the same thing. I mean, we're looking at it from this time frame, from the 4 hour. This thing is due for a pullback. It's due to have it kind of push to the side and drop another whole level. And if it does drop that whole level, it's got to go down to at least this Mayo, or at least this low right here. Let me draw it up. Right. So we have some price movement, or if you want to just be more safe, you got that zone right here, the institutional drop. So it like dropped real quick and then it kind of reversed. So we have plenty of area, but this thing is definitely going to be dropping again. Now we just want to catch the pullback for that continuation. So right now it's dropping during kind of like it's right in the beginning of Asian session. So I would expect this, maybe it might continue a little bit, but overall, I want this thing to pull back. Once it pulls back, either to this area or towards this significant area, that's when we'll start looking for sales. So I'm gonna be probably waiting around New York session for that. I've noticed recently with the way that I've been trading that New York session actually does more movement for the way that I end up trading. Asian session going into London, if I get in, I'm gonna be holding it all night versus New York, I can be in and out. So yeah, I'm gonna be waiting for this to pull up, and then I'm gonna be looking for the drop overall. So that was one of the pairs I took last night. The other one was GU, and it's always doing this. GU. Okay. I wanted this for a buy last night. I did not enter in at all until later this morning. Damn it. Let me move in closer. So I saw the price came down here and price started moving up in this direction hard. I didn't enter yet. I actually entered right here. Right. So I entered right there. It went up in profit. It came back down and then eventually finished the rest of the day at my take profit, which was the recent high right here. I didn't put it to this one. I put it to this one just to be sure. I was trying to get guaranteed pips, and that was still a good amount of pips. So from here up, it's about 40 pips. I caught, it was a little bit lower than that, but I got like 40, 41 pips. And it was good. And it went with the overall analysis. We wanted to stop hunt low, rise. And then the other one was Euro USD. So that one I didn't post a picture, and I was still in the trade. I ended up getting out of it early because I bought right here. It went to drawdown. They extended the lows, hit the institutional. So it's pretty much the institutional candle. If I zoom out, the institutional candle starts here. So this whole section is the institutional move. And then if we go to the 1 hour, yep, it goes down even more. If you go to the 5 minute, it probably gets even better, more clear. Yeah, so just from here down was the whole institutional move. And then right at the end of it, man, this thing just reversed hard. And I took my profit right. So I entered here. I took it right about here. It was when it started to pull back, and I was like, I'll get in tomorrow. I'll get in the next day. I'll wait for it. So I took out with a small profit. Wasn't anything crazy because of my position on it, but from down here to about here was 30 pips. So it was good. And I do see a continuation for this tonight, but I need this to break. So right now it's still not valid for a buy, even though there is divergence, right? So I'll just do the analysis on this pair because I already know that this is on the dashboard. So we have the divergence here, price going down, price hitting the wall or support, and it didn't take out this high yet. So what we need to see it do during Asian session or London session is shoot up, take out the high. Once it does that, we'll look for a pullback, probably happen around New York session, and then we look for the buy again to continue up to right here. Right. So if we get that done correctly and we enter in at the right time, you can get 50 pips off of that. So that'll be a nice payout. So I'm going to be waiting on Euro USD tonight as well, and it moved really well during New York session. So I'm going to be writing that down real quick, actually. This whole whiteboard, kids, man. They love to draw. So let's do black. Buys. EU. And I'm going to have sells, which is UJ. So we already got two positions, right? I just did the analysis on two pairs so far. Now let's go over what is actually on the dashboard right now. USD CAD. Okay, this should be cool. Let's see. Peak formation high. Let's check it out. USD CAD. Boom. Did it break that low yet? Barely. I mean, it barely broke it, but it technically broke it, and it's still breaking it. Let's see. It's still in a tight spot. Go to the daily. The wicks to the high are kind of confirming more so that it wants to drop. 4 hour, you got a double top here. Is it divergent though? Nope, it's not divergent, which doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. We have some trend line liquidity going on right here. That was a horrible trend line. Right, so we have trend line liquidity. It looks like it actually just broke through it. Right, so if we're waiting on that, and they have a bunch of if this is the reversal, this is the peak, then I mean it's pretty simple, right? If we go back to basics right here, if it breaks this structure here, we need a pullback, and that pullback is probably going to match up where the water is, which is actually in line with the trend line. So we'll wait for a pullback. It could extend it a little bit more. Oh, you know what else I just realized? What's today? Today's the 31st and it's a Friday, right? Shit. It might be NFP week. Let me just check. Yeah, it is. This Friday is non-farmers payroll because it's June 2nd. So be careful of that. Totally forgot to even think about that. But we want to see a stop on high and then we'll look for that sell. And this pair does really well during New York session, so I would just wait. I mean, these are the moves during New York session. Continued move, right? It gets really good. Doesn't really do shit during London, kind of fakes out and does whatever, but that's what we're looking for. We're looking for sells on USD CAD, even though that's not the cleanest. It needs to break a little bit farther down than go up. CAD JPY, this one was a drop too, but I think the CAD news actually put it up. And this is a peak formation high. It's got a one ADR, so it's still got room. Let's check it out. CAD JPY. We have this here. Yep, this is valid. Let me go to the daily. Ooh, but that wick there. The wick doesn't scream sell. Weekly looks good. It could just be one of those things where they trap. They got the tweezer tops. Got a wick up to the top. The TDI can do two things. It can either come down and continue, right? Or drop here and then go back up into the overbought zone. Not likely that the second part will happen, but we'll see. And it's a JPY pair, so this thing could actually be making its move right now. But ideally, I want to be waiting for this to drop. I need it to pull back some, and then we can enter. So this is, I'm not going to be trading Asian sessions anymore. Usually there was times I'd be getting in right after the analysis, and I would get in right, but it kind of screwed me in a sense on some of the trades the other week. Got in way too early. I was right, but got in way too early. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be waiting, even though this might set up or move tonight. Who knows? Or move right after the analysis. I don't care. There's still other pairs. So wait for that to drop. This one looks good. It broke structure. Right. So you have divergence. I'm pretty sure the 1 hour is divergent. Let's go check it out. Oh, it's no, not really. If we're going off the close of the candles, it's not really divergent. So I would say last night would have been good for a sell, a continued sell right here. Because this was the consolidation. This was the break of structure. It didn't call a peak though. That's the thing. All the JPY pairs weren't peaks. So drop, broke structure, consolidated. It was just a continued drop. This was the big move. Anything else, it needs to pull back. I would say pull up a little bit more, maybe retest, and then we could take it for another sell down to this low, or you could take it to the ADR low, which matches the 500 EMA. Other than that, really nothing left. Just wait for it to stop on high. Then we got gold. So gold did it. It actually did exactly what we wanted it to do. Gold went up, right? Because there's a small time pullback. Don't know if it's going to continue. Right on here, it kind of looks like it wants to continue like another day push, right? Because it's not really a gold doesn't do anything crazy where it's like, oh, it's divergent here, it's divergent here. Let me just reverse, right? It's very technical. So if it's going to reverse, it's going to want to go up another part and then drop. But here's the thing: this is now a peak formation low. So this break of structure, and this is why we were saying look for buys, or this area right here broke this structure right here. And then this push up just broke this one. And now it's got one more to test, which is right up here, which is right in a line with the ADR high. So all in all, we want to wait for a stop hunt low, and then we can look for the continue buy. There's really not any solid divergence. The only divergence that was solid was like this morning during New York session. You could have actually sold this real quick and taken it to the water on the 15-minute with price going up. So you entry right off of you could have entered here. And if you did do that, it would have been a quick trade, say a quick 50 pips, which I mean that's fucking solid on gold. So that was the move. Now we just got to wait for the next move up, in which case we will look for the buys. I think it's going to consolidate here a little bit more. I don't think it's going to just go up from here. Gold, it's got to move. So I think it's going to and then make its way up. But I'll be looking at that. I'm going to put gold on the buy list because it does want to look like it keep going up. Okay, now it's more. Okay. USD I kind of did that already. You guys don't need to see that again unless somebody wants me to go over it again, but it's look for a stop hunt high because it's already dropping. This is the stop hunt. This is an inducer, right? They're actually going to do two things. If what I believe to happen is correct, they're most likely going to induce the sellers right now because clearly, I mean, this is a reversal. M, then you have level one. This was level one when it dropped here, retracement. Then you have level two. It's breaking that structure now. All we need to do now is catch the pullback. So they could be inducing sellers, which is right. They can hold it, but then they're going to reverse it, hit the ones that have tight stop losses, and then they're going to go right back down. So I would just wait because this pair has plenty of room to drop. If anything, this actually wasn't even level one. This is a miniature level one because this level one was really the move. It needed to break not just this structure or this structure, it needed to break this one, right? That's the most significant one. These are all little ones. So it dropped and finally broke that structure here. So I guess what you could do from a bigger time frame perspective is say peak level one right here, right? And then pull back. This is all level two, right? So we want to see that pullback. That's what we're waiting for. Now we want to look at Euro AD. This one I had for, I think we had this for buy. Yeah, we had this for buys yesterday because it was one peak formation, low, 1 day peak formation. So let's take a look. Euro AD. So the reason I didn't trade this pair last night was because of this. I did not like that. It just showed me price. They have traders trapped on both sides. And then this happened this morning with Euro. It stopped on high, took out the wick, and then they just went against all that liquidity. Most likely going to drop again based on what I'm seeing. This is not a reversal pattern to go back up that way. This is a continuation pattern. So even though this says peak formation low, I'm telling you that that's not a solid peak formation low. That is definitely not. It could drop a little more than rise, but at the moment, if it's going to rise, it needs to drop first. And then once it gets to this area, if it doesn't take out this low, then you might see opportunities to buy. And this is the 1 hour. So we'll probably most see this drop out, go oversold, and then do a shark fin here. If not on the 1 hour, then for sure the 15-minute, where you got price kind of consolidating right here. Stop hunt a little bit, drop. This goes oversold, shark fin. That was an ugly shark fin. Shark fin, maybe another W, and then we buy it. So I think this is getting ready for ranging, where you're going to be stuck in between this high and this low. So you would buy low or sell high buy low. But there's other pairs right now that are doing better. Now let's go to GBP CAD. This pair I actually got stopped out on last night, but the other trades I made ended up making all that back end some. So let's check out GCAD. I bought prematurely on GCAD. I bought it when it was around, it was here. I think I bought it in the middle of the night. I was like barely awake. Bought it, went into profit, woke up, was still in profit, went to drawdown, hit my stop loss, which was right about here. It literally wicked it. Then it dropped farther, and then it reversed, and my take profit was up here. But it's okay. I took the loss. It's all, it is what it is. And I even made it back. So it just goes to show that if you know what you're looking at, it's gonna pay back anything, no matter what. You just stay consistent with what you do. Okay, so this is a peak formation low, correct? Yep, 2-day peak formation low. I would say that the buy is still valid. What is that noise? I would say the buy is still valid because it broke the structure and all it's doing is consolidating, and it's going to continue. So I would say look for buys on GBP CAD. It might be consolidating for Friday. I have no idea, but we'll see. Let's take a look at Euro Chief. This one was for a buy yesterday too. It did it early. I didn't take this pair. You could have caught this during right in the middle of London session. I didn't trade this though. I thought about trading it when it was right here. Well, it's a little vague. Let me get a little more specific. When it was here. But I didn't, just because I saw this too. I saw the divergence, and I was like, I don't really feel like doing it. And plus, I wasn't even like fully awake, so I was just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna leave it. So I left it. But is it gonna continue? Let's see. Did it break this structure? It did not. It wicked it. What's the daily look like? The daily broke the catch up. That's good. Let's go to the 4-hour. The only thing I don't like about the 4 hours is wick, but the TDI is saying otherwise, and it looks like it's going to continue up. This may have just been the part of the news or something that happened. They spiked it though. It is divergent now. Let me check. Yeah, it's divergent, but the volatility bands are tight. See that? That means liquidity is dying, or volatility is dying out, meaning this could just gradually go up, or it's going to accumulate up here, stop hunt low, open up the bands, price goes down, shark fins up, and you buy it to the high. But only look for all you want to do is look for stop hunts low. So this, what is this? 0. So I would say, yeah, I would just wait for this to be going during London session. It's probably going to make it stop hunt low during that time. It's still really, really early. It's only 6:32 Central Time, 7:30 Eastern. So I would say wait for it. It might shoot up again. Stop hunt low out of the box. Retouch these EMAs that are going to line up all right here. And then we look for that buying zone to continue up. Still not my favorite pair. I still like EU and UJ more. I'm waiting on EU, but UJ definitely. Now let's go to US 30. Don't really look at that pair anymore. What is it? Peak formation high 3 days ago. 1, 2, 3. Let's see. Weekly. It looks like it's a temporary move. It doesn't move. It bounced off of there last week. It might be consolidating out for the rest of the week. I mean, there's nothing saying it's going to reverse. So I would just say continue. It's going to be a continuation. Go with the peak. So high, hit that water, and then you sell that shit. You sell it right down to the low. If it's going to continue, it needs to at least go down there. So, and to here. So if it breaks here and you're still in the trade and you want to be good, move your stop loss to a little bit above that point. So if it retraces, you either get stopped out or you can continue to keep going. But yeah, nothing's telling me it's going to go up. At least not yet. I think it's got another day. But we'll see. This kind of looks like a peak. Drop, pull up. Didn't take out the high though, so no, it's still valid for a sell. Just keep going with it. However you guys look at the US 30, I mean, stop one high, look for it to hit up to these EMAs, and we look for those sells. Look for the shark fin outside of the water. If you guys don't have the TDI, go get it. It's on you can get it on what is it called? TradingView. Now let's go to CFJPY. So this one was we were waiting for a drop on this one. I didn't grab it. I was focused on the other pairs. All good though. So let's see what happened. This thing I think was just a straight drop. Yeah, it did the same thing as CAD JPY. It just straight dropped, pulled back during middle of London, and then right as New York came around, it dropped and finished out the week. So finished out the day. I would say let's do this. The way the weekly setting up is definitely getting ready to do this. If this weekly closes, excuse me, if this weekly closes where it's at or lower, what's going to happen next week is we're going to see a pullback, and then it's going to drop again down to here. Daily. What was that? Oh, heard like an alarm. So yeah, I would just say continue with the sells, but it has to pull back, right? Oh, actually, shit, man, this thing might not pull back. Let me see UJ again. Just because the way this pattern is setting up, it doesn't look like it's going to pull back. Kind of looks like what UJ is doing right now, right? It looks like so UJ is going down right now. That means I would probably be waiting on this thing to do the same thing. But what they could be doing is what I just explained earlier about stop hunting, right? So what we see here is tight liquidity. We have equal lows and equal highs. So if they really want to manipulate this, they're going to go both ways. So they're going to go drop down first to continue with the sellers, breakout traders. They go down and scalpers are going to get their money. That's fine. The stubborn, greedy ones are going to hold their money and they're going to go up. Stop losses are above this little range. They hit the stops, go up a little higher, continue to hit stops, and then they reverse back down. So it's a matter of playing the game. I mean, if I was a market maker and I saw all this, I mean, personally, I would, and my main objective was to stop people out. That's exactly what I would do. I would go down. Oh yeah, it's going down. Cool. Psych. Let's reverse it. Told you it's going to go up, guys. We got a reversal. Nope, it's kidding. It's actually going back down again. Cause all this trauma. But I would just wait for that, and then we can look for the sell as it goes up a little higher. That's not really a pullback. I mean, you could try to catch the straight drop, but it's not really likely to continue like that. I want to pull back personally, and it's divergent from here and there. Like, right, you guys can see it. Price is going down, price is going up. Eventually, I'm not even going to have to draw it anymore. You guys are just going to be so used to seeing the divergence. You're going to be like, oh, yeah, there it is. Oh, there it is again. Oh, shit, it's everywhere. Yeah, it's everywhere. Now you just predict whether or not it's a pullback or if it's a big time reversal. It's really all you got to do with it. So yeah, I would wait for this to pull back and then I'd be looking for sells. Let me draw that up here. CFJ. CHFJ. Okay. Euro JPY. Hello. We got a new trend too. Euro JPY. Well, damn. I missed this one. All good. Divergent. Divergence. We want to see it. It might actually extend that range again. Damn. Yeah. If it doesn't just break here and drop down to the blueberry, then it's going to stop hunt high, just like UJ, just like CFJ or CHFJPY. And then we have CAD-JPY. We want to see stop hunt high. I mean, I just want to see this. Gradual movements up and then a drop. That would be ideal. It could straight drop, but I don't want to take the risk. How far does this actually want to drop, though, is the question. Oh, it's going to drop to the water here. Going to go to the daily water. So if it goes there, say from here up 119 pips, 4 hour. This is, this is a continuation because of the candlestick. See this? Bearish, a little tiny bullish, continuation with a stop hunt candle, which is okay. Bearish, bullish, little continuation. Could continue here to this Mayo, which is the 1 hour blueberry, or it could stop on a little high, just like it did here. And if so, then we sell it down to there. And let's say that's what happens, and we get in at the top around here. 80 pips. That's not bad. It's not bad at all. So I would stick with that. Just wait for all the stop hunts. I mean, if you want to get in early and hold your trades, I mean, that's up to you, but got to get the right entry. So I'm going to put EJ down. So pretty much all the JPY pairs, bro. It's all JPY. JPY is going down. That means it's really strong. So, or either it's really strong or all the other currencies are just going really weak against it. Which one is this? Euro JPY, EJ. Okay. Next, AUD JPY. How many are they all on here? JPY. No, okay. It stops. It stops after that. Which one was it? AUD JPY. Okay. I mean, it clearly broke structure last night, which is what we've been waiting for. So we got a new low. And what do we look for after new low? New high. And we have divergence, clear as day. This is perfect. Divergence, divergence. I want to see a stop hunt. Now this one, because of where the EMAs are at, see how they're all starting to go downwards? Everything's flowing down. When it does that, price tends to sit and consolidate here for a sec, and then it drops. So this one might not actually stop hunt high. This one might actually, it might drop here, go up, and then make its move. So this is a full-on Asian pair. It's the Aussie dollar and the Japanese yen. So I would wait. This is a mini head. Literally, this is a mini inverted head and shoulders. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder forming, shoot up, stop hunt, either one stop hunt and then drop, or extended stop hunt, then drop. Either way, I believe this is what's going to happen. And then once that happens, that just confirms what I'm looking at, and then we look for the sells. Just see where we're at on the daily. It's wicking. 4 hour. Took out the wick, or took out the body of the candle, which is just confirming my pullback. So yeah, wait for that. AUD JPY looks good for the continued sell. Now, another thing too is that it might consolidate all day, and it might not just be a big drop. I think this might actually set up for like a big consolidation. and then a drop. But we'll see. Write that down too, AJ. All the JPY pairs. Just short all the JPY pairs. And hold it till next week. That's not financial advice. Had Chef. Do I want to do this one? Do I not want to do this one? All right, we're pretty much at the end of it. Ooh. Peak formation low. Is this doing what I think it's supposed to be doing? Finally. Nice. Broke structure. Boom. Boom. That wick on the daily. If it's on a daily, you can use the wicks as structure. Once it gets down to like the hour, it's better to have the body. But this is still validated, and the TDI looks really good. Like this wants to, it's got to shoot a shark fin, so we're gonna see it move up. Let me see the weekly. Yeah, the weekly is due, man. This is a continuation on the 4-hour. Bullish candle, little bearish, maybe another bearish. Rise up. Rise up, King. Where are we at? Let's say if we took it down here. 28 pips. Not shabby. Where does it want to go, though? That's the question. All right, let me put that link. Let me put the ADR high real quick so I can see it. ADR high is right about there. Okay. Yeah, looks like it wants to test this zone right here. So I would put it maybe about here, right? Multiple hits, respected, 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 respected. Yeah. So I would say this has got enough room for another buy. This looks like a solid continuation. Now be careful though, they could extend the stop hunt. I mean, this isn't just going to be boom, 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 rise. It could. I need to see more evidence of what's happening, but ideally, this might drop a little bit, then make its move. So definitely look for buys on CAD Chef tonight. So CAD Chef, CAD Chief. Okay. Just write that down. Cool. Now let's go over. I'm just do these last two. Well, I already did Euro, but it didn't actually. Wait a second. Why is. Oh, there's something in the dashboard that needs to be taken care of. This isn't right because yesterday's analysis had this as a new peak formation low. You guys remember that? That's why we were looking for buys on it. And then the dashboard deleted it. It's not there anymore. It's like confirming that it's still a downtrend, which is, and it even gave it a new trend. That's how you know that there was a peak formation low, because if this was 8 days ago, then this wouldn't have a check mark. This would just say 8 PFH. So that's interesting. I think I've noticed that like once or twice, but it's not as often. So yeah, look, see, it's still there, right there. PFL. Huh. Very interesting. All good. I'm still waiting for it. It needs to break this structure, then we can look for a buy, but we'll see how it goes. Now, like I said, I'm gonna do these last two, and then I'll call it tonight. And then anything else, you guys can come into the Discord that I have. I'm gonna be posting the link for, and then yeah, if you guys want to be part of the paid service, let me know, and we'll get you guys in and still doing these chart analysis and a little bit more than that. So AUD Chief, let's check it out. What is it? Peak formation low 4 days ago. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, this thing looks like it's. I don't know. I actually wouldn't even trade this yet. Could be valid. Weekly setting up nice. Daily. Daily wants to go up a little bit. It looks like it just kind of wants to shoot up with the TDI going that direction. 4 hour. It needs to break here first, right? So it's if it breaks up high, it can either be two things, right? So we have overall a downtrend, right? So you got to take into account, and this is where the mind fuckery comes in sometimes. You're like, well, it's technically a downtrend. I don't want to trade against it, but and it's also saying it's a peak formation low. So you got to like, what do you do? Because in my mind, two things can happen. This could break structure, continue up and go up, and then as long as it doesn't take out this peak or this peak, this can still drop, right? And then you capture this whole rise. Or it's going to stop hunt high, break all the equal highs on the 4 hour, and once it stop hunts high, it's going to just reverse back down. So either way, if this is a peak formation low, then this is, in my opinion, only a pullback. I think you just want to wait for it to break out. So don't touch this until it until it breaks out. Once it breaks out, then you can identify from there. But I would just say leave it alone. There's other pairs out there. And then I'm gonna do EuroCAD. Who messaged? Can we talk about 15-minute? Oh, is that Delvin? You're in the Discord already. Yeah. Yeah, I can do some stuff in there. I gotta work out because it's a whole training aspect. And time, right? Because I got a big family, I got a lot of responsibilities. So I'm not just going to be able to hop on every now and then. I'm going to have to schedule it out and do these training sessions with everybody, but we'll go over that. Now, EuroCAD. So this is peak formation. Oh, it did the same thing here. See, it had a peak formation low yesterday and it just like deletes it. It's like, oh, never mind. You didn't see that. 1 second, guys. Hold on. Waiting on that to happen. Okay. So let's go over it. EuroCAD. Wait, what am I doing? EuroCAD. Well, it kind of looks like it already hit that low. It hit the blueberry, unless there's another one somewhere lower. Oh, I see. It's gonna go lower. It's gonna drop beneath the 4 hour blueberry. It's gonna go to this one. So this is a continuation, guys. How far does it want to go though? 80, 90 pips? Fuck yeah. I think that's great. But because it broke that low, it needs to pull back. Broke equal lows. This is a continuation pattern. Yeah, so what it's going to do, usually when price goes up this way, people are like, oh, it reversed or it's pulling back. Let me sell it. Hit this part right here, right? I'm going to sell it now. And that's when they screw you because this is not done moving down. This is not done moving up. This is going to continue. I bet my money on this. I've seen this happen so many times. I'm not going to buy this by any means, but I can tell you, watch this pair. I guarantee this thing goes up a little bit more, just like that. Goes right up to the water. Maybe this peak right here. Then it might look for a reversal back down to the low or extend it one more time just because it broke that low and they want to screw with people before Friday comes around. So, and it's a EuroCAD, so NFP is going to come around. But I would just wait for a stop hunt high, which is what it's going to do, guarantee it. And then we look for sells. Pretty simple. So does anybody have any questions? So you said, can we talk about 15-minute entries? Because this is the last one, I will answer one of the questions. So what's your questions about 15-minute entries? You can either type it, you can talk about it, either way. Give me an example too. I think you gave me the example this morning in the Discord. Let me see. Do we wait for it to cross? Cross what? EDI or EMAs? What are we crossing? EMA 13. You don't have to. So like part of the market maker method is this, right? I don't use this one, but a lot of people do. I just never really cared for it because my entry models are a little different. Is a moving average. Needs to be a 5, right? And you put the yellow, and you got the 5 EMA, and the cross of the 5 EMA over the 13 EMA, which is the mustard and ketchup, is called the shift candle. The shift candle is just there to help you guys look for an entry to confirm the direction of the market. But I never really care for the shift candle because I know overall how structure wants to move. I feel like the shift candle is good for people that to start out with, but once you start seeing the institutions, once you start seeing where liquidity's at, order blocks, once you start seeing just higher time frames and where they want to go, the little tiny shift candles become irrelevant because price is going to do what it wants to do. Ultimately, it's going to follow the higher time frames. But and this is kind of like, and this is just me being honest, where it's flawed in a way, but it's not. So like you have the market maker method, and I think it's a beautiful thing to utilize because it gives you structure, it gives you discipline, it gives you rules to follow, it keeps you patient. If it doesn't set up, then don't take it, right? But what I've learned through my experience over the last 8 years is you don't need to wait for the perfect one every single time. You can, and I definitely recommend it. But when we're talking about entries, and usually if we look at the statistics, it doesn't happen every night. You're not going to be setting up for the same thing. It seems as if when the shark fin forms, the trade is over. No, not usually. I mean, look at this. Look at this pair right here. There's a shark fin. You got a shark fin here. You got a shark fin here. This is divergent, W. And I guarantee this little thing around here is a mini W. Ready? Watch that. And you can fractalize it. So, and that's something you got to figure out too. Is it's not just look at the 15-minute, right? We say look at the 15-minute because it gives people, again, discipline. Stick to the 15 minutes, stick to the time frame. But you start to realize that time, it's all fractalized. So like what's happening here in the 15-minute, it does the exact same pattern on the 1 hour. So if it does the exact same pattern on the 1 hour and on the 15-minute, why can't it do it on the 1 minute? Right. So you can, this is how people get into like scalps, and they can do like 1 to 60 R to R's because they're waiting for the specific moment to happen on like 1 minute charts. And then they just ride it out. So like they'll get in on a 1 minute trade right here. Right. They'll get in on a 1 minute trade right there. That's their entry because they waited in that wick. And their stop loss is literally that. So that means this whole move is like a 1 to 20. Like how many of these little rectangles can you fit from here to here? It looks like you can fit like well over 10 to 15, right? So 1 to 15 R. So let me just kind of give you guys this. And these are things I don't usually talk about because I just been giving you guys my analysis and what I think is going to happen. And these are things I'm going to be going over in my trainings for the paid people, just kind of giving you more of an in look of like what to expect, how to utilize it. It might kind of seem a little overcomplicated and you might overthink some things at first, but my goal is to help you drop or make it simpler, right? I like to dumb things down. That's how I've been making things work for them forever. So, all right, so let's go to the 1 minute. Okay, zoom in. So we kind of, it's not like the most perfect one, but we do have divergence here. It's not a shark fin in there. And then price breaks out, takes out the structure, takes out the structure. You can enter right on that part. Wow, that's actually really funny too. I drew the line, right, as like the entry and then the stop loss. Look what the entry is. It's literally right on it. So that's wild. Didn't know that was going to happen. But the point is, these are all going to be fractalized on some smaller field. It's always going to be that way. I mean, look at this. This is the 1 minute. A divergence there. Shark fin. So, I mean, the shark fins don't indicate that the move is over. The shark fins are used to help you identify stop hunts. That's because the shark fins, the best ones like this, for example, Like this is, imagine this was like the 15-minute chart to keep things simple. But see how price was kind of just slowly moving and then boom, it dropped down really hard, really fast right here too, right? So that's a 1 minute. This is only like 3 to 5 minutes happening. And it dropped down. And then what happened? The shark fin occurred and it started moving up. But that doesn't mean that the move is over. That means, and on top of that, if this was like the 1 hour, I mean, you could fractalize this very part down here into what we're doing right now, right? It's all fractal. So, but it doesn't mean you missed the move, because usually what happens for a solid shark fin is that it comes up and then it will come back down and do a double bottom W, where the candlesticks are going down like this, right? But the W, the RSI is going up or hitting a support. And that is where you would enter here. It doesn't always occur. And this is why I say use it for discipline, but don't just sit here and be like, every night I'm going to wait for that exact setup, because I could promise you right now it's not going to happen. You are going to be sitting there, especially if you're eager to trade, you're going to be sitting there waiting for the right setup every single night. And it's not going to be there. So you have to be patient and disciplined and being able to be okay with knowing that you're not trading every night, which is fine. That's not a bad thing. I mean, it's good to not trade at all than to take a bad trade and lose money, right? So, but it doesn't mean the move is over. It just means, hey, price just stop on it, or it made a big move down. They're going to want to breathe. And then if it's not the reversal, the only other thing it could be is a continuation. And those are the things that I look for. I look for continuation breakouts. Like, for example, if this decides to go up, that breaking out of the volatility band, technically that could be an entry. That could be an entry if you know where you're at structurally. You don't want to sit here and just assume that, okay, well, because that's a shark fin, or it's coming out of the volatility band, that's automatically going to go right back into it. It's not. Sometimes the shark fin or the RSI can continue out of it. Let me see if I can find you an example where price just kind of continues to go in one specific direction. Let me see. Maybe it's on the 1 hour. I mean, this kind of works right here, right? So you have shark fin, small one. Let me actually make this bigger so you guys can see it even clearer, right? So you have, oh, look, it's a shark fin, right? We got to take it for a sell. Psych, it went up. No shark fin there, but it dropped. But if you notice in this whole drop, price is only doing, it's not even doing anything. It's pulling, it's like a small pullback, right? And then it continues. Oh, shark fin. Does that mean sell? No. You have no indication for a sell. So if I have no indication for a sell during the TDI, and then even if it's overbought, if I have no indication for a sell or it's going to reverse, you just continue. I most likely wouldn't have traded here because of how it's all set up and being divergent. This would have just told me in the next day or next 3 to 4 days, this is going to be reversing. But you can just continue with that pair until you get one of these. This is a significant sign of it really starting to slow down on that uptrend. And now it wants to kind of pull down. It wants to exhaust itself. And then it shot up one more time and dropped. So I can go into more detail for other trainings, but that's essentially what you're looking for. Don't look for every shark fin to be the shark fin. You got to discern whether or not it's a continuation. Is it a false move? Like, I mean, he got a shark fin right here. All that tells me is that this is a reverse, or this is just a pullback. I think it's going to pull back a little bit higher. The shark fin goes up like that, and then it reverses back down to take out the low. That's all this tells me. This doesn't tell me to enter. So I hope that made sense. But with that being said, I'm going to repeat it again. I am going to be putting the Discord link inside of this description on the YouTube channel, inside the Telegram group for those of you that are involved. Join it for free. There's a couple of you on right now. If you do decide to join the free Discord, it's going to ask you the moment you get in to like type in a word um, for our trial version of what we're going to be coming out with. But because we don't have it done yet, you guys are not going to have to do that. So just get into the Discord and you're going to see aligned profits. You're going to see the free chart analysis that I do once a week, and then the peak picks. So that's where I'm just going to show a picture of which peaks I think are the best, and then you guys do the due diligence to do it yourself, or hopefully I do an analysis on those peaks and you guys catch it. So, but with that being said, it was a pleasure. I hope you guys got some value from things that I have been going over, even though I didn't really teach you stuff other than like the first video and the second or this video. And I hope you guys learned some stuff just on how to view the markets and made some money in the process. But thanks again for having me. Thanks again for checking, hopping on, and I look forward to working with those that want to take things to the next level. Peace out, guys. Have a good one.